You clicked on this video because what you're doing right now on LinkedIn is obviously not working. So I'm going to cut the fluff, I'm going to cut the bullshit, and I'm going to show you the 4 steps that you need to follow in order to get leads from the platform. So I'm going to the big desk, I'm grabbing my iPad. I'm about to get started because I don't want to be one of those guys on YouTube that just talks about themselves for the first 5 minutes. No, you're here for the value. So let's dive into the 4 steps you need to follow in order to get leads on LinkedIn. So let's get going. Step number 1, guys, and this is where we start with all of our clients, and this comes down to positioning. And positioning is just a very fancy word for just what you stand for. And in order to get clarity on that, we use a very simple framework, which I call the offer pyramid. As you can see, this pyramid is pretty neat, as I can say myself, and it comes down to who, what, how. So with the who, this is just very simple, like who do you help? Because in order for you to get leads from LinkedIn, you have to understand who you're actually looking for, right? Like you have to start with the end in mind. So is it like B2B people? Are you looking for D2C owners, like executives, people working in 9 to 5, like whatever you're looking for, right? Then in terms of the what problem do you solve for them? And especially if you already get clarity on the who, the what becomes pretty simple, right? And this is what most people already understand, right? You have to talk about your persona, your target audience, your ICP, and what problem you solve, right? That's in a nutshell already your positioning. But what most people do not understand with their positioning is also you want to be clear about how, oh, that doesn't make sense, how you deliver the solution. And with solution, what do I talk about? Well, if you're solving a problem for them, you also have a solution, right? So is it one-to-one? Is it done with you? Is it done with you, done for you? Like whatever. Are you selling a course, a program, whatever the thing is, right? All these things together, all these 3 things, they make up for your positioning, because people, this is just one of the things that just, yeah, it frustrates me on LinkedIn, because people talk about positioning all the time. They know it's important, but they overcomplicate it. And it's just a very simple who, what, how. Because with your position, you want to be able to explain yourself in 1 or 2 or 3 sentences, like who you help, what problem you solve, and how you do it. Like if you can be that specific, then of course everything down the line becomes so much easier, right? Cool. So that's step number 1. And you will see me go through this like very fast, because I appreciate your time and I want to make sure that you get value out of this, and then you can go executing on that. So step number 2, guys. This comes all down to your profile on LinkedIn, because people are like, oh yeah, I want to get leads on LinkedIn. I'm busy. I'm doing all these things. And then I look at their profile and it's absolutely garbage. So with your step 2, you want to optimize your profile. The 4 layers to this. Let me just do that. Then copy. Oh. I think that's a pretty neat setup, right? So with the first thing, guys, what you want to do, you want to optimize your banner. So what we just talked about, in your banner, you just want to show the who, the what, and the how. Just basically everything from step 1, right? So you will see in this video that I'm building the blocks as we go. Like step 1 obviously goes before step 2, because step 2 needs step 1. And you will see that with step 3 and step 4 as well. So guys, this is the banner. Then the headline. And the headline again is this: I help who solve what by how. There you have it. This is literally the framework, the format, the template you can use for your headline if you don't have a headline. I help, I'll just literally like write it out for you. I help who solve or achieve what. This comes down to the problem you solve by how. Like the method, right? Very fucking simple. Okay, that's that. Then what I want you to do with your featured section, this is the little box on your profile that allows people to go to a different spot. If you don't have anything that right there, right now over there, keep things fucking simple. Send people to your Calendly. If you have posts there, like LinkedIn posts that you've posted before, or your announcement posts or your intro posts, remove that shit. As long as you're not selling LinkedIn content, it's not important. Like some people, like so many people have that post up there, and then they're like, yeah, I expect my leads to go in there, figure out what I do, and then DM me or then do that. Like that's too much friction. It's way too unclear. Remove that shit. Just very simple, a Calendly link. In the rare occasion that you have, let's say, a video or a resource or perhaps even a YouTube channel, link that. Something to build trust, right? And then last but not least, on your LinkedIn profile, of course, you want to have the About section. And again, the About section is a summary of the how, of the who, the what, the how. You want to opt, in this case, with your profile for clear and not, how do I write this? Clever. Like, don't make up terms that no one understands. Don't make up things that only you talk about. Like, keep things very fucking simple, because most likely, if you're already active on LinkedIn and you're not getting leads, it's because you're just confusing. And if you confuse, you lose. People have no clue what you're doing and they just literally bounce. So that's step number 2, guys. Step number 3, in order for you to get leads on LinkedIn, all comes down to fucking content. So let me give you the 4 pieces of content that I want you to push, because content, guys, is by all means the magnet you put out to attract like-minded or interested people. I don't know about you, but if I would choose cold outreach over content, it's content every single day. Like, I'm always choosing content. And if you're watching this video, if you watch some of my other videos, I think you are on that camp too, because literally content allows you just to, it's a 24/7 salesperson that literally, as I'm recording this video for you, my content is traveling the world. And the same, like, you are watching this video after I recorded it, uploaded it, and published it. And most likely, when you are watching this video, I'm doing something else. Like, I train a lot, I run a lot, I do other things. I'm outside in Medellin because, as you can see, the weather is fucking gorgeous. I'm doing stuff, right? So my content just travels the world. So guys, there are 4 pieces of content that I want you to focus on. The first one is content to attract like-minded people. So in this case, you talk about, you can share some educational content. You can share some visuals, like stuff that's just relatable for your industry. Like, if you think back of step number 1, where I talked about the what, like the what problem you solve, in the attract phase, you just talk about that, right? Because if you talk about solving a specific problem, you will attract people that are interested in solving that problem. Like, all I talk about in my LinkedIn and in my YouTube is about lead gen and client acquisition. And I know that it attracts the people that are interested in that. Like, you're watching literally this video because you're interested in getting more leads from LinkedIn. If you're not interested in that at all, you would already have bounced and not get to this point, right? Same, if you talk about finance, you attract people that are interested in finance. So it's that simple. Then guys, the second part here is that you want to educate. And usually attract and educate go together, right? Because in this video, I am attracting your attention, right? I'm attracting you based on the problem I'm solving, and at the same time, I'm educating on the 4 steps you need to know in order to get clients and leads from LinkedIn, right? So it's pretty meta here, but you get the point, right? So in this phase, you can think about like things that you see on LinkedIn, like carousels, like how-to content, but always make sure that you include the things that only you can say. Say the things only you can say. So for example, you and I can both write a post on, let's say, again, this is a meta example. I can write a post on LinkedIn how to write a great LinkedIn post. You can write it as well because you have access to GPT and Gemini and Claude and whatnot. However, I can add in the hook, after writing 2,000 posts on LinkedIn, here are the 7 non-negotiables that I include every single time. If you don't have that earned work, it's hard for you to say that, right? So say the things only you can say. Then guys, post type number 3 comes down to proof. Because I assume, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video, that you're a service provider, right? You're a coach, a consultant, an agency owner. So I want to see, if I'm a potential client of yours, case studies, wins, transformations. Like, I want to see proof and evidence that you're able to do the thing that you say you can do. If you think back of this, like the what, I want to see proof of that, right? Because you can say that you're the best in the world, but if you have nothing to show for, it's going to be a hard sell to make, right? So let me put it like that. So the same here with Attract, guys, and this is one that I missed, is your personal story, right? This is not something you have to do all the time, but you can infuse it in. Like, for example, as I just did like a minute ago, I told you that I'm living in Medellin, Colombia, that I train a lot, etc., right? So in my content to attract people, I infuse parts of my personal story. And then last but not least, we have content here that converts. So whether that's a lead magnet, like one of those resources that you see on LinkedIn, like, hey, comment X to get Y, perfect way to get email opt-ins and whatnot, or like hand raisers, where you say like, hey, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z people to do X, Y, and Z together. Comment X or DM me Y, and I send more details. This is the converting content. So as you can see, guys, we have 4 types of content. Content to attract, content to educate. Like I said, they usually go together. We have content that proves that you're able to do the things that you say you can do. And with the conversion, you just move people from the feed into your inbox. And that's where you can have a sales conversation and potentially sell them to something. So these are the 4 types of content that if you're trying to get more leads from LinkedIn, that's what you want to focus on. Then the last step, and this is a very important one, like people underestimate this, is where we're going to go over conversations. Because if you have an audience, if you have any activity on LinkedIn, I would guarantee you have leads. So don't come at me like, hey, I'm posting and blah, 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 but I don't have leads. You have leads, you just haven't. Oh, damn, that's cool. Never seen that. That's a cool feature. What I was saying, you have leads, you just haven't activated them. So in this part, guys, in this 4th step, I'm going to give you the staircase model. I know. Let me see. I have to just do it like this. So step number 1, guys, what you want to do here is you want to connect. And what I mean with that is that you want to, first of all, add up to 200 people per week, especially when you're starting out. You want to go into LinkedIn, you want to go into the search bar, and you just want to look for people that have a job title that you're looking for, whether it's a coach, consultant, certain specific founders. Add them to your network, because the more people you have in your network as for Grace Connection, the more they see your content, step 3. The more they see your profile, step 2, and the more they see your positioning, step 1. And hopefully you already see that these steps, like I said before, they just build on top of each other. It's a system. Like LinkedIn is not just doing one thing and then you have leads. No, it's doing a sequence of things consistently with a specific system, and then you get the results. So connect, you want to just add these people to your network. But at the same time, when you're posting content and you have people that are just like reaching out to you or like checking your content, you want to connect them. You want to connect them to your network, right? So add 200 people new. This is kind of like cold. They have no clue who you are. And add the people who engage with your content or check out your profile. The other thing, guys, here is that in terms of the second step, engage. Because we don't stop at just connecting, what we want to do is we want to open the conversation here. We want to not necessarily open the conversation, but we want to either comment on their content and just show some form of interest, right? Because in this third step, which is super important, we're gonna open the conversation. So I got ahead of myself in the step before, and here we want to just like reach out to those people, right? Reach out to the people who like, comment, and like profile views, like just people that are interested in what you do, right? Because again, here's where the things start to hopefully already come together. If your positioning is clear, guys, right? Positioning, who you help, what problem you solve, how you deliver it. Then you've dialed in your profile. Then you have content going out, reaching these people, getting people to see what you're about. Then in this step, you have all these triggers to follow up with, right? Because you're building a machine. Like, you have your positioning dialed in, your LinkedIn profile represents that accordingly. You have content going out to go out into the world. Like I said, like I'm recording this video right now, and my YouTube or my LinkedIn content is traveling the world. Like on average, I get over 500,000 impressions per week on my LinkedIn content. Now that's great, right? Because I can do other things, and my content is just nurturing and educating and sharing my name automatically almost, right? So then when I go into this process, I just open the conversation. I reach out to the people that like my content, commented, profile views, etc. And then the last step here, guys, and this is a very interesting one, is where we want to invite. So if we reach out to these people, we reach out to the people that have any form of like exposure to our content, and we just want to invite them. We just want to have a conversation. My go-to question is always like, hey, X, are you here for the content only? I need to make some space because this is super key. Bear with me for a second. That's why I like my iPad, because it allows me for changes like that. So, hey X, are you here for the content only, or is getting, it's like a placeholder, or solving X your main prio? And what I mean with like getting or solving X, here you refer to the problem you solve with your brand. So in my case, the question might be, and this I've used this many times, hey George, are you here for the content only, or is getting clients on LinkedIn your main prio? Because I know that I talk in my content about getting clients. So if someone comments on my content or they like my content, that's for me a trigger, because that's a sign of interest, that they are interested in what I talk about, right? And then let me remove this to here, because the natural step on this, if someone is like, yo, I'm here to get more clients on LinkedIn, my very simple next question is like, hey, do you need some help? And this is such a lost art on LinkedIn. Just being direct and just like, hey, cool, you have this problem you're trying to solve. I accidentally solved this problem professionally. Do you need some help? And then it's either yes or no. It's that fucking simple. Because guys, let's be honest, you're not on LinkedIn to be friends, to build out your friend group and stuff like that. You're a business owner, not a full-time content creator. You're just using LinkedIn as a way to grow your business. That being said, guys, if you want to know more about this full system, because this is just like a snapshot, check out the video in the description, because it's a longer video. It's like roughly like 30 minutes. I'm breaking down the whole system, how you can get inbound clients on LinkedIn without sales calls, without nasty cold DMs, without all the shit that I personally hate. And if you made it to the end of the video, I do believe that you hate it as well. So go check out that video. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys.